Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Farsa and we're here for CIAF 2020 and part of CIAF 2020 this year is we have an opportunity to go out on country and to sit and speak with our local artists and to take in how they're preserving and maintaining culture. And today it gives me great pleasure to be here out on Yalanji country on Cooya beach north of Cairns. To be here now with Yalanji songwriter, composer, storyteller, Miss Merindi Schrieber, and also with her husband, Kunganji man, Linton Schrieber, and their son, Wangalai. So Merindi, good afternoon, sis.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon it is.
Wow. You're a songwriter, composer, and storyteller, and can you tell me a bit more about your inspiration?
Yeah, well, I guess the information or the knowledge that I missed out on growing up, to be able to speak language fluently in my household was unheard of because of obviously past histories.
Yep.
But to do what I'm doing now and bring our language in song and bring it to our kids and our babies, I think it's a vital source of maintenance, culture maintenance, language maintenance, and bringing all that back to our babies so that our next generations doesn't have to, do without, because it's
Absolutely.
a vital source for our identity,
And language is so connected to identity, isn't it? And it's so connected to, our specific region and clan groups.
Yeah, absolutely. And like when you look at language, even in song itself, it's universal. Like it breaks barriers. Like, you can listen to a song in French and already you're connected to that song just because it's sung in a native tongue. Listen to a song in Afghan, someone's got a connection to that. Bama, we've got connections. Yeah.
And it gives it that sense of depth, doesn't it? It just grounds.
Yeah. When you're talking about that sense of depth, there's no barriers in it, when, it's not just a straight, hello, how are you?
No.
You look at Yalada, that's got so much more meaning. We say Yalada, but there's so much more to it. You can reply in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
And it means so much different things, but all in that same context, of how are you? What are you doing? But just that one simple word.
And
you okay? Or Yalada, that question.
Exactly.
You know?
So there's the inflections of the high intonation.
The phonics, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you look at language and the different nations or neighbouring communities around, neighbouring mobs, they may have that same word, but it means something different too,
Exactly.
So,
and today we're here to, discuss and talk about storytelling. So
yes.
let's open up that discussion.
Yes, okay. So storytelling is a beautiful, beautiful piece of tool to be able to, I guess, extend your knowledge, not just extend it, grow your own knowledge, but extend that to that next generation, to be able to do the stories that incorporate our language, incorporate some of our bits, our areas here is something that we don't just do off our own backs, for myself personally, it's a thing where, telling story through song, I'll have to reconnect with my uncles and aunties,
Yes.
to make sure that it's all in line. It's not just a process of me sitting in the four walls around a little computer or,
Yep.
around a table. It's actually getting out and visiting the family and making that
Reconnecting.
phone call, reconnecting and making that an important part of my process. And I think a lot of people now in the arts industry are doing that already, but to leave it for the next generations is an important process which I live for, It's important for us, to use these tools, but also remain true to who we are as Bama, as First Nations mob, as whatever you want to call ourselves, as people of the land. So to be able to do what we do and remain true to who we are is a skill and a learnt skill on that journey, because
Yeah.
it's something that we've had to take back, you know, something that's been missing for so long, and we've had to, I'm starting to get emotional here,
No,
but
it
we've had
is.
to carry that journey on our shoulders, you know, but for the betterment of the next generations. So.
And I think, you know, like I'm a firm believer of language, and how even when we speak in language, we sing in language, and even through, you know, ceremonial chants, I mean, it just gives a layer and a depth, and that's the importance of our connection to language, to revitalise more so.
Yo.
Yeah?
And I think that there lends itself to our healing too, you know.
Man.
If we're
You
able
couldn't have said it,
to
yeah.
take a grasp of that depth and that revitalization and the importance of why we do what we do, you know, we can all heal together, you know, we can all move forward together and appreciate each other and each other's journey, but at the same time know that we are being healed so we can heal others, you know.
Absolutely.
Through this whole process. Yeah.
Absolutely. You were so right, and I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
And it is a big part of that healing process, and that walk together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's not going to get lost, because we've got technology now, you know, we can salvage it, you know, and whatever we do have now, we've got to, you know, make sure that it's documented right, and that it's done, you know, in the right hands too at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know, so that we know that it's going to be heard by the communities that we are connected with. It's crucial to continue doing what we're doing. Even you as a writer, as a, you know, as a leader, you know, to continue sharing your knowledge, you know, and sharing the knowledge of your ancestors,
Yeah.
and keeping that alive. We've got the next generation to lead this knowledge with, and who's going to take that, you know, who's going to take up that baton. And so important to have our young people with us.
These ones
you
here
know?
now.
Yo, he comes with me to every meeting. Hey, Wangalai. Yeah.
Now tell me the story behind Wangalai's name.
Wangalai's name.
Simply means yellow-crested cockatoo. It's also our totem for
Yep.
Kunganji people. And for him to attain the name, to get permission, we do have the king of Kunganji, King Jaban, for the Kunganji people. And that's not only just recognised tribally, he gets a stamp of approval all the way over in Rome. And we have the bishops and everybody come up, and it's a big ceremony, we call it, like an ordination. But yeah, it's a big thing. It's something that he can't take lightly.
Yep. Beautiful.
So, but in your language, what we say Wangalai, in
We say
Yalanji,
Birumba.
Birumba,
Yo.
and I should know this because that's the language name they give me.
Yeah.
So,
So he more or less has your language name, but from
home,
from home.
where I'm
Yeah.
from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got the language name because they asked, oh, what's your totem? And I said, oh, yellow-crested cockatoo. So then in Yalanji,
Yep.
Birumba, that's my language
Birumba.
name.
Okay.
But he'll get his own when they're ready to start doing the naming ceremony again. So
Yeah.
he'll get his own traditional name for this border here, this country.
That's beautiful. And I believe you've got a song or a story.
Yes, I've got a story that I wrote. So it's a fictional, but it has meaning, and I've kind of tried to include a bit of language in there too, to kind of keep that language
Beautiful.
happening. So this story, I guess, is set. I'm going to call it's set in Kuya. So Kuya is here where we are.
Okay.
So, as you all know, who knows about the white cockatoos?
Yes.
In our language, we say Birumba.
Birumba.
Yo, Birumba. This one day, set in I think it was about November time. So it was kind of still a little bit hot, like getting into that hot sort of dry season,
moving into
moving
summer.
into summer. These 3 Wangalais, or Birumba, sorry, we're on Yalanji, so we say
Yep.
Birumba.
Birumba, yep.
3 Birumba, all flying in the air, doing their own thing, flying up in the sky, so yarning up, chatting up with each other. One name, Google talk too much.
Google bugger.
Yeah, that's him,
That's
talk
him.
too much. And then you had Jungiba.
Jangiba.
He was man, one for knowledge man.
Okay, the wise
you know,
one.
Wise one. Then you had Giragari,
Giragari.
silly bugger, you know?
Bit
silly
light-headed.
man, bit like someone. No,
Hey!
someone's. But getting on with the story. So we had Birumba. These 3 Birumba, you know, Googlebugger, Jungiba. What was the other name I said?
The silly one.
Yeah, Giragari. All chatting away and, you know, having their own fun, you know, doing little twists and whatever in the air that they do, that cockatoos do.
Yeah.
Chatting away, and then next minute one of them sort of stopped for a moment and said, "Hey, Yufla, you feel that?" And Giragari and Jungaba reckon, "Nah, what you mean? What you going on about?"
What's he going about? I'm feeling
I'm
nothing.
feeling nothing. I just feel wind in my wings. So they was there chatting away, but he couldn't shake this feeling, you know. He's like, what's this feeling? I'm feeling something. And then Giragari, he said, "Hey, yeah, I'm feeling that." And they couldn't understand what was going on, you know, and kept thinking, you know, going through different scenarios of what this feeling could be, you know. And then next minute they started seeing, you know, humans, you know, gathering their things off the clotheslines and running into the houses, or, you know, they didn't have houses then, we call them urun.
Yep.
And so they'd run into there, pack their kids, you know, in there, and they were thinking, "Hey, what's going on?" And Jungiba looked, he looked ahead. "Hey, you see that there?" And Giragari reckoned, "What?" "Yep." "Hey, how'd Giragari go, Wangalai?" Sounds like a dog and a cockatoo in one. So he did that. "Yeah, I see it." But they didn't know. They kept flying to this destination and they could see this thing, and it's like a big wall, and they didn't know what the heck this wall was, you know. And on Cooya Beach, you know, in these sort of regions, you never see anything like this.
Yeah, right.
You know, and so they kept flying, and then they're thinking, "Hey, all them people are moving, but none of our animals are moving, you know." So they looked, when they actually saw and realized what this big wall was. Big wall of dust, just a freak situation, you know, once in a century thing where the dust came from the west to the east. Remember, this is fiction. Dust come over, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, look at this dust. Oh my goodness. Look at this dust. Come on. Oh my goodness. Look at that dust. Whoa. What are we gonna do? Whoa. What are we gonna do?" So Jungiba said, "We need to let the mother mob know. We need to let all our yubbas, all our friends, all our animal friends, Guranji, Cassowary, we need to let him know. He's the, you know, and then we need to let all our other animals know what's going on, to go and seek shelter." So what did they do? They made big noise. Oh, that's not big enough. They made big noise. And they put the alarm out and everyone looked straight up and they realised them fellas putting out that warning. And it's not the bullyman, it's not the police, it's not the ambulance, it's that proper cockatoo warning, proper birumba warning. So they even go now, make that warning. All them friends down there below, they look, run for their shelter, grab all their gungal, all their children. Quick, we go hide in this bush here, you know. Go hide, we gotta cover ourselves from this thing there, this dust, this wall of dust. And so them three went back now, found their shelter. And you know, everyone in that community were kind of saved from these three following their instinct. You know, they followed their journey, they followed, you know, and saw that there was a problem. They said, we got to do something. We got to let our mob know. And it give me goosebumps now. We got to let our mob know. So they did that. And you know, that there is just an example of when you are in trouble. You know, you feel like there's something not so right. You know, you might, you know, with your being a child, someone might have hurt themselves. You don't just go run away from them. You see that's trouble, you go and get someone to help. You go get an older person to come and help. You know, someone's sad or sitting in the corner on his own. You know, that's a problem there. That's an alarm. Go and talk to that fella. Go and talk to that person, that girl, that boy, that whoever it is. You know, and send the alarm. And, you know, there's so many lessons in our stories, you know, and this is just one story of one of those lessons of following your instinct, following what you feel, you know. And
Absolutely. And taking ownership of that and leadership of that, isn't it?
Yo.
Yep.
Yeah. When you're feeling down, look around, you will see there is someone there to help you through the breeze. Ooh, ooh, send the alarm, call for help, help, call for help, help, I can't hear you, call for help. Hey! Help, don't be afraid to hold out your hand. Ooh, 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 yeah. And just remember, Birumba, the three cockatoos. So, you know, I just hope that, you know, mob out there can take something, you know, in whatever story I have and whatever story, you know, that's yet to be shared.
Absolutely,
you know,
sis.
that we can hold on to that and take it and run with it and learn from those lessons, because that's how our mob did it, you know.
Our culture is also about evolving, and it's also contemporary as well. So that was a great example of new stories, but with those same teachings of our ancestral stories. Yeah,
yeah.
beautiful.
like I said, it was fiction, so I don't know if the dust does actually come to from the west to the east, but anyway, we can make
Anyway.
it that way.
That was deadly,
No worries,
sis.
brother. I might
Thank
just
you.
do one more song, and I think I sang this the other night, but
Yep.
share this song with you, and it's a song that it's been birthed out of this space, out of Nyamumo, or Karke Bina Malmal, which is now Nyamumo. So, Oneda.
That was deadly, sis.
Ah, thank you.
That was too good, man. Big answer, sis.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's deadly. I think you've captured it all, eh? Yeah.